Well, hey church, welcome back to the Midweek Devotional. We are going through 1 Peter in this session of devotionals, and we're just taking a look, an expository look, so we're going section by section through 1 Peter and kind of going through. So we're looking at 1 Peter chapter 1, and we're all the way down to verse 8. Verse 8, though you have not seen him, you love him, talking about Jesus Christ. Though you do not now see him, you believe in him, and rejoice with joy that is inexpressible and filled with glory. So Peter is discussing Jesus Christ right here, and he's talking about how Jesus and his salvation gives us this joy. And it's a joy that cannot be explained. I should add that it is a joy that we should attempt to explain. It is a joy that we should definitely try to share with others. It is a joy that we should definitely attempt to pass on to those around us. But it is a joy that can't be explained. And here's part of the reason why. Because this is a joy, and joy is the key word here. It's not happiness, it's joy. Joy is something that rises above our circumstances. So even in difficult circumstances, you and I can have joy. We can have joy even in the loss of loved ones, even in difficult times here in this present world, which we're going through right now. And we can have joy. And it's very important because the world is always watching us. Hear me out, church. If you are a believer, the world looks at you to see how you react. So case in point, we just did a workout, and when the workout ended, I was joking with someone about my score, and I did like 2 rounds in this workout, and I said, well, just finished 8 rounds, and we were joking and laughing, and then somebody else who's not a believer said, oh, yep, just like pastors always telling lies. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm totally joking. You can see my score here, right? It's just a good reminder that the world always watches us. They're always looking. And they look at you to see how you live in a hard time. So in the middle of a pandemic, your lost neighbors are watching you to see how you react. In the middle of a brutal, hard political climate, your lost neighbors see what you post. Your friends watch to see what you share on social media. It says that this joy is inexpressible and filled with glory. And so we're able to then say to them, hey, the reason I have this joy, even in a brutal season of life, is because of Jesus. And here's what makes it. Verse 9, obtaining the outcome of your faith, the salvation of your soul. Our joy and our faith is in who God is, not in what God does. And so our joy is found in the fact that we are children of God. We may not understand ever on this earth why God does what he does and allows what he allows, but we still have joy because of salvation. Our salvation at the end of the day is what gives us this joy that, hey, even though we lose loved ones, even though times are hard, even though days are tough, even though moments are brutal, even though times are difficult, at the end of the day, we're going to spend eternity with our Creator. And so we have joy. If you continue on in verse 10, concerning the salvation, the prophets who prophesied about the grace that was to be yours searched and inquired carefully. So there's a couple things right there. It is a good reminder to us in verse 10 of 1 Peter chapter 1 that we should search and inquire carefully about salvation. I get really nervous whenever I hear believers start to say, oh, all you do is talk about salvation. All we want to do is look through the scriptures and find Old Testament prophecies that are fulfilled in the New Testament. That's boring. That really concerns me because the Bible wants us to search out the scriptures, seek out salvation, investigate, listen, learn, and grow and develop. And then verse 11, inquiring that what person or time the Spirit of Christ in them was indicating when he predicted the suffering of Christ and the subsequent glories. It was revealed to them that they were not serving themselves, but you, in the things that have now been announced to you through those who preach the good news to you by the Holy Spirit sent from heaven. So here's the idea. The Old Testament prophets searched, investigated, and had faith looking forward towards Jesus. And we as believers ought to search and investigate and study the scriptures with faith looking back at Jesus. All salvation is through Jesus Christ. There's no salvation through anything else. It is only through him. And the Old Testament people looked forward with faith to Jesus, and we look back in faith towards Jesus. But look at the end of this verse. Things, this is the end of verse 12, things into which angels long to look. Things into which angels long to look is this beautifully worded saying, and it comes from Peter. He's a rough fisherman, but he words this that our salvation is something that angels wish they could investigate. Angels wish they could understand. Angels wish they could study it. Angels wish that they could grasp the idea of salvation through Jesus Christ. They wish that they could look and grasp and fully understand, like we do, what salvation is and how it is and where it is, all of those things that are involved with it. It's a beautiful reminder. This passage is a beautiful reminder that our salvation gives us joy. Our salvation should be studied. It should be investigated. Our salvation is through faith in Jesus Christ, and it's of highest, utmost importance. If you consider the fact that angels wish they could search out salvation like we do, you have divine beings. If you read the Old Testament, when they arrive on earth, they're terrifying. Divine beings with huge roles and big tasks and all these jobs and amazing intricate details, and they wish and long to be able to understand salvation like you and I do. Salvation is a beautiful gift, and we can never take it for granted. Salvation is something that we should hold with joy, we should hold with faith, we should hold with love, and we should investigate it and study it. Thanks for jumping on here, guys. Always remember, you matter. I love you.